जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदन व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज विहारी जय कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा कृष्ण रुक्मिणी जय सत्यभामा जय दामोदरा जय दामोदरा दामोदरा जय दामोदरा जय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय गौरनिताय जय गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद इट्स डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद इट्स डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्री श्री कृष्णा रुक्मिणी सत्यभामा की जय, श्री श्री दामोदरा की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 25. Verse number 38. Na karhichit mat paraha shanta rupe न करहि चिन्मत्पराः शान्तरूपे। न करहि चिन्मत्पराः शान्तरूपे। नङ्क्ष्यन्ति नो मे अनिमिषः लेढी हेतिः। नङ्क्ष्यन्ति नो मे निमिषो लेढी हेतिः। नङ्क्ष्यन्ति नो मे निमिषो लेढि हेतिः। येषाम् अहं प्रिय आत्मा सुतः च। येषामहं प्रिय आत्मा सुतश्च। येषामहं प्रिय आत्मा सुतश्च। सखा गुरुः सुहृदः दैवम् इष्टं। सखा गुरुः सुहृदो दैवमिष्टम्। सखा गुरुः सुहृदो दैवमिष्टम्। न कर्हि चिन्मत्पराः शान्तरूपे। नङ्क्ष्यन्ति नो मे निमिषो लेढि हेतिः। येषामहं प्रिय आत्मा सुतश्च। सखा गुरुः सुहृदो दैवमिष्टम्। न कर्हि चिन्मत्पराः शान्तरूपे। नङ्क्ष्यन्ति नो मे निमिषो लेढि हेतिः। येषामहं प्रिय आत्मा सुतश्च। सखा गुरुः सुहृदो दैवमिष्टम्। Na, not, karhichit, ever, matparaha, my devotees, shantarupe, O mother, nangshyanti, will lose, no, not, may, my, animishaha, time, ledhi, destroys, hetihi, weapon, yesham, of whom, aham, I, priyaha, dear, atma, self, sutaha, son, cha, and, sakha, friend, guruhu, preceptor, suhridaha, benefactor, daivam, deity, ishtam, chosen. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The Lord continued, my dear mother, devotees who receive such transcendental opulences are never bereft of them. Neither weapons nor the change of time can destroy such opulences. Because the devotees accept me as their friend, their relative, their son, preceptor, benefactor, and supreme deity, they cannot be deprived of their possessions at any time. Kindly repeat, the Lord continued. My dear mother, devotees who receive such transcendental opulences are never bereft of them. Neither weapons nor the change of time can destroy such opulences. Because the devotees accept me as their friend, their relative, their son, preceptor, benefactor, and supreme deity, they cannot be deprived of their possessions at any time. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita that one may elevate himself to the higher planetary systems, even up to Brahmaloka, by dint of pious activities. But when the effects of such pious activities are finished, one again comes back to this earth to begin a new life of activities. Thus, even though one is promoted to the higher planetary system for enjoyment and a long duration of life, still that is not a permanent settlement. But as far as the devotees are concerned, their assets, the achievement of devotional service and the consequent opulence of Vaikuntha, even on this planet, are never destroyed. In this verse, Kapiladeva addresses his mother as Shantarupa, indicating that the opulences of devotees are fixed because devotees are eternally fixed in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, which is called Shantarupa because it is in the mode of pure goodness, undisturbed by the modes of passion and ignorance. Once one is fixed in the devotional service of the Lord, his position of transcendental service cannot be destroyed, and the pleasure and service simply increase unlimitedly. For the devotees engaged in Krishna consciousness in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is no influence of time. In the material world, the influence of time destroys everything, but in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is no influence of time or of the demigods because there are no demigods in the Vaikuntha planets. Here, our activities are controlled by different demigods, but even if we move our hand and leg, the action is controlled by the demigods. But in the Vaikuntha atmosphere, there is no influence of the demigods or of time. Therefore, there is no question of destruction. When the time element is present, there is the certainty of destruction. But when there is no time element, past, present, or future, then everything is eternal. Therefore, this verse uses the words nanangshyanti, indicating that the transcendental opulences will never be destroyed. The reason for freedom from destruction is also described. The devotees accept the Supreme Lord as the most dear personality and reciprocate with him in different relationships. They accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the dearmost friend, the dearmost relative, the dearmost son, the dearmost preceptor, the dearmost well-wisher, or the dearmost deity. The Lord is eternal. Therefore, any relationships in which we accept him is also eternal. It is clearly confirmed herein that the relationships cannot be destroyed, and therefore the opulences of those relationships are never destroyed. Every living entity has the propensity to love someone. We can see that if someone has no object of love, he generally directs his love to a pet animal like a cat or a dog. Thus, the eternal propensity for love in all living entities is always searching for a place to reside. From this verse, we can learn that we can love the Supreme Personality of Godhead as our dearmost object, as a friend, as a son, as a preceptor, or as a well-wisher. And there will be no cheating and no end to such love. We shall eternally enjoy the relationship with the Supreme Lord in different aspects. A special feature of this verse is the acceptance of the Supreme Lord as the Supreme Preceptor. Bhagavad Gita was spoken directly by the Supreme Lord, and Arjuna accepted Krishna as Guru or spiritual master. Similarly, we should accept only Krishna as the Supreme Spiritual Master. Krishna, of course, means Krishna and his confidential devotees. Krishna is not alone. When we speak of Krishna, Krishna means Krishna in his name, in his form, in his qualities, in his abode, and in his associates. Krishna is never alone, for the devotees of Krishna are not impersonalists. For example, a king is always associated with his secretary, his commander, his servant, and so much paraphernalia. As soon as we accept Krishna and his associates as our preceptors, no ill effects can destroy our knowledge. In the material world, the knowledge which we acquire may change because of the influence of time. But nevertheless, the conclusions derived from Bhagavad Gita directly from the speeches of the Supreme Lord Krishna can never change. There is no use interpreting Bhagavad Gita. It is eternal. Krishna, the Supreme Lord, should be accepted as one's best friend. He will never cheat. He will always give his friendly advice and friendly protection to the devotee. If Krishna is accepted as a son, he will never die. Here we have a very loving son or child, but the father and mother, or those who are affectionate towards him, always hope, may my son not die. But Krishna actually never will die. Therefore, those who accept Krishna or the Supreme Lord as their son will never be bereft of their son. In many instances, devotees have accepted the deity as a son. In Bengal, there are many such instances, and even after the death of the devotee, the deity performs the Shraddha ceremony for the father. The relationship is never destroyed. People are accustomed to worship different forms of demigods, but in Bhagavad Gita, such a mentality is condemned. Therefore, one should be intelligent enough to worship only the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his different forms, such as Lakshmi Narayana, Sita Rama, and Radha Krishna. Thus, one will never be cheated. By worshipping the demigods, one may elevate himself to the higher planets. But during the dissolution of the material world, the deity and the abode of the deity will be destroyed. But one who worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead is promoted to the Vaikuntha planets, where there is no influence of time, destruction, or annihilation. The conclusion is that the time influence cannot act upon devotees who have accepted the Supreme Personality of Godhead as everything. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preyasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mokam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Mande Shri Gurum Dinataranam. Long ago, there was a village in India, and there was a Gurukul in that village. In the olden times, in the Vedic times, every village there would be a Gurukula, where all the children of the village, they could go and study. And there was a qualified Brahmana who was running that Gurukula. The system in the Vedic times was like that. The Brahmanas would not take any fees. They would not charge any remuneration for their services of teaching. Teaching was free and open to all. Whoever was qualified and who would, the Brahmana would only test whether the person, the student, whether he will put the knowledge to good use. And if he is going to put the knowledge to good use, he would teach him without any expectation of any remuneration in return. Because the 6 duties of a Brahmana, Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha. These are the 6 duties of a Brahmana. Patan, Patan. Patan, the Brahmana himself would learn the entire Vedic scriptures, and he has to constantly learn. His whole life is dedicated only for learning the Vedic scriptures and understanding he is not the body, he is the spirit soul, and liberating himself. And Patan, he would also have to educate others about whatever he has learned. This is his duty. He cannot shirk that duty. He cannot let go of that duty. And Yajan, Yajan, he would perform sacrifices, and he would guide others in the society also how to perform sacrifices. And Dana, Pratigraha, whatever he would accept, whatever other people would give in charity, and whatever he needed for that particular day, he would use it. The rest of it, he will in turn give in charity to someone else. These are the 6 duties of a Brahmana. So this Brahmana who was running this Gurukul in that village was qualified, and he was properly performing the duties of a Brahmana. He was not taking any fees or anything from the students. Generally what happens is, whenever the teacher needs something, he will ask the children to give some Guru Dakshina. Dakshina means it is like a charity. You are giving out of your own accord whatever you can give. So the Guru Dakshina, according to the children and their parents, whatever they are capable of, they can come and give, and Guru will accept. Guru will not make any differentiation. Oh, you gave me something valuable, you did not give me something valuable, nothing like that. Whatever they give, he is satisfied with that. Now this Brahmana, he was teaching all the students. He was a poor Brahmana. He was running the Gurukula. And so one day, in a few days, his father's, that Brahmana's father's death anniversary was coming up. And generally, in Vedic tradition, whenever your relatives, especially your father or forefathers, their death anniversary comes, you have to perform Shraddha. And one of the things in Shraddha is that you have to provide a feast for all the people. This Brahmana, he was a poor man. He did not have money to organize such a big festival, but he had to observe Shraddha. So he called all the students who were in the Gurukul, and he asked them that, like this, I need some ingredients to cook a feast for the Shraddha, for offering oblations to my father who has passed away. So can you all bring something and give? So one boy said, I'll bring rice from my home. Another boy said, I'll get dal. Another boy said, I'll get ghee. Another boy said, I'll bring all the firewood. Like that, different boys, they all, according to whatever their parents' profession was, they all promised, I'll bring this, I'll bring this, I'll bring this, like that. Now in the Gurukul, there was one boy who was extremely poor. His father was not there, only his mother was there. And mother was like a maid servant. She did not have any major income. So the teacher asked this poor student also, is there anything which you can bring? So now all his friends, all his peers, they are all saying, I'll bring this, I'll bring that. Now if he says, I cannot bring anything, it will look very embarrassing. But at the same time, he did not know what to say. The boy told the teacher that, sir, I will ask my mother and I will get back to you. Teacher said, okay, no problem. You ask your mother and come back and tell me. This boy went home that day and he asked his mother that, mother, like this in the Gurukul, the teacher has his father's Shraddha is coming up. So he needs some ingredients to cook a feast and offer to Vishnu and offer to his forefathers, and then feed all the villagers whom he is inviting. Shri Shri Krishna Rukmini Satyabhama ki jai. All the people of the village will come, hundreds of people will come. So he is asking, and all of my friends, one friend said he can give rice, another friend said he will give dal, another friend said he will give milk, another friend said he will give ghee. So what can I give? So the mother became very sad, and she said, what to do, my son? We are very poor, I don't have anything to give. So this boy started crying. Naturally, small boy, he was very small kid. He started crying. So the mother is trying to pacify the kid. He is not listening. He is saying, children sometimes they become very obstinate. No, I cannot go empty-handed. I have to give something. You have to tell me something I have to give. Now poor mother, what she will do? So she said, see, I cannot give you anything. If you want anything, you ask Krishna. If you ask Krishna, Krishna is Dina Bandhu. He is a friend he is the well-wisher of all people who are bereft of everything. Dina means one who doesn't have any possession. For one who doesn't have any possession, the only Bandhu, the real well-wisher or the real relative or friend, in whatever way you want to take him, it is only Krishna. So you ask Krishna, because he is Dina Bandhu. The boy asked his mother, where will I find Krishna? Mother said, you will find him in the forest. So many rishis, munis, they are also searching for him in the forest. You go and search in the forest. Mother simply said like that. But this boy took it to heart. He went to the forest. And in the forest he's going, it's all dense, dark jungle, animals and all kinds of animals are making noises. He got afraid. So he started calling out loudly, Dinabandhu Dada, where are you? Dada means elder brother. So he is calling out to Krishna, Krishna Bhaiya, where are you? Like that. Dinabandhu Dada, he started calling. So because he was calling out so piteously and so helplessly, Krishna actually appeared before him. Krishna appeared before him and he said, my dear friend, why are you calling me? What do you want? This boy narrated the whole thing. Like this, my teacher has asked, all my friends have committed various things. I am coming from very poor family, and my mother said, you are Dinabandhu. So Dinabandhu Dada, you only have to give me something which I can give to my teacher. Krishna said, you see, what am I? I am a cowherd boy. What can I give you? I'll give you dahi. I'll give you curd. Curd I can supply you. You go and tell your teacher whatever curd he wants, I'll supply. The boy became very happy. Okay, all right, very nice. And he very happily went to the Gurukul next day. And teacher asked him, did you ask your mother what you can give? The boy replied, yes, sir. I have asked Dinabandhu Dada, and he has said, as much curd as you want for feeding the people, I'll give. The teacher became very happy. Okay. So everybody has committed according to whatever everybody has committed. Somebody said rice, somebody said atta, somebody said dal. Based on that, and somebody said milk, he has said dahi. Based on that, he made a whole menu. And next day, he started cooking. And all the students started coming, and somebody is bringing firewood, somebody is bringing ghee. Everybody is bringing according to, whatever quantity he needed for feeding the whole village. And this boy also, small boy, he went to the forest next day and called out to Dinabandhu Dada. Dinabandhu Dada, curd, my teacher will be waiting. So Krishna appeared before him and gave him one small pot, maybe half a liter or 250 ml of curd pot he gave. See, today's fresh curd I have brought for you from this one village, from the cows. Personally, I have got it for you. So this boy became very happy. Oh, fresh curd, glistening and nicely formed. He became very happy. And this boy, poor boy, what does he know? Small kid know. For feeding the whole village, how much curd you need? And he's getting 250 ml pot, and he's thinking, oh, very nice, I got curd. I'll go and give my spiritual master, my guru. So this boy came running very happily to the guru, and he came to the guru. And the guru said, my dear child, have you brought the curd? I have to start cooking. So this boy came and gave this small pot. So the guru took the pot in his hand and he said, what is this? He said, the curd you asked for. Arey Baba, you said you will take care of the entire curd requirement. You are giving 250 ml curd. It's not for my house. If it was for my house, 250 ml is enough. But I have to feed the whole village. What will I do with this? So this boy face became a little small. He said, I asked Dinabandhu Dada and he gave. So now this guru became a little upset. And he said, what will I do with this yar? And he threw the pot down and the curd fell out of the pot. And the Guru became upset. Now what to do? He has to change all the menu. And he started planning, okay, let me, poor fellow, boy, what he can do. He didn't, what else he can do? He cannot do anything. He has to change the menu. He started running around trying to change the menu and all that. Then after a little while, he came back. He saw the pot is still lying there. And the curd is fallen on the floor. And the pot is still full of curd. So this teacher was a little surprised. He took the pot. I threw the pot down. Curd fell out. How is curd still there in the pot? So he turned the pot down and all the curd fell down. Then he reverted the pot and saw the pot was again full with curd. So he was surprised. He again put the curd down and he looked at the pot. Pot is again full. So unlimited curd is coming out of the pot. Then this Guru realized, oh my God, this is not an ordinary pot. This is something spiritual. Krishna himself has given this to the boy. Like that he realized. So this is a wonderful pastime which Prabhupada described. So in the Vishnu Purana, it is described that Vishnu has three forms of energies. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta Kshetrajñakya Tata Para Tritiya Karma Sanjnanya Tritiya Shaktirishyate. Avidya Karma Sanjnanya Tritiya Shaktirishyate. These are the three energies of Vishnu. Vishnu Shakti Para Prokta. There is a Para Shakti of Krishna, which is of Vishnu, which is called the internal energy, Antaranga Shakti. That is of a higher spiritual nature. That energy of Krishna, which manifests the spiritual world, is called the internal energy of Krishna. And why it is called superior? Because it is conscious. Then, Kshetrajñakya Tata Para. The second energy of Vishnu is also Para. It is also superior. Why? Because it also has got consciousness. And that is called Kshetrajña. Kshetrajña Akya. The second energy is called Kshetrajña. Meaning it is referring to the living entities. So all of the living entities, like all of us, souls, we are all part of the second energy of Vishnu, which is called Kshetrajñakya, or it is known as the Tatastha Shakti, the intermediate energy, the marginal energy of Krishna. Avidya Karma Sanjnanya Tritiya Shaktirishyate. The third energy of Krishna or Vishnu is the inferior energy, which is called the external or Bahiranga Shakti of Krishna. And this external energy of Krishna, Avidya Karma Sanjnanya, that is the energy which impels the living entity to engage in fruitive activities and become covered by ignorance in the material world. So these are the three energies of Krishna. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Mamaivamsho Jivaloke Jivabhuta Sanatanaha. So Krishna says, Krishna declares that all the living entities, Mamaivamsho Jivaloke, Jivabhutaha, all the living entities, whether human beings, animals, plants, demigods, whoever it is, all the living entities are amshas, are part and parcel of Krishna. In other words, all of us are expansions of Krishna. All the living entities are expansions of Krishna. Just like in the Upanishads also it is stated, Eko Bahusyam, that one supreme personality of Godhead, he became many. He divided himself into many. What is this many? First of all, Krishna expands himself into his personal forms, which are known as Swamsha, his personal forms. Like Krishna expands into Balaram, and Krishna expands into Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. These are all personal expansions of Krishna, and they are called Swamsha. Now, Balaram further expands into other forms. He expands into Sankarshana, Vasudeva expands further into Narayana, Narayana further expands into the second Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. The second Sankarshana expands into Vishnu, into Karanodakasai Vishnu, into Mahavishnu. And that Mahavishnu further expands into Garbhodakasai Vishnu. Garbhodakasai Vishnu expands into Kshirodakasai Vishnu, who is the Paramatma. So expansion, expansion, expansion. So one is Swamsha and another is called Kala. Swamsha means into the personality whom Krishna directly expands into. Like Krishna from Vraja expands into the Vasudeva in Dwaraka and Mathura, and Krishna expands into Balaram. These are all Swamsha expansions. And personalities like Garbhodakasai Vishnu, Karanodakasai Vishnu, they are all Kala, meaning they are expansion of the expansion of Krishna. Now, Krishna expands into multitude of forms like this. And Krishna further expands into all the Nitya Siddhas, all his personal associates in the spiritual world. Whether it is Radharani, whether it is the Gopis, Nanda Maharaj, Yashodamai, all of them are expanding from Krishna. And not only all this, in the material world, where Kshirodakasai Vishnu has entered into each and every atom, Andantarastam Paramanu Jayantarasam, he has entered into each and every universe and into each and every atom also. And when Krishna has entered like that there, those material universes are filled with conditioned living entities, with the Jiva Bhutas. And these living entities, these souls, are Vibhinnamshas. They are also expansions of Krishna, but they are separated expansions of Krishna. Therefore, they are called Vibhinnamsha. Now you see, this is very interesting. On one hand, Vishnu Purana is stating that all the living entities are the energy of Krishna, the marginal energy of Krishna. And here in the Bhagavad Gita and in other scriptures, it is stated that the living entities are expansions of Krishna. So this is the unique position of a jiva, of a soul. What is that unique position? The jiva is an expansion of Krishna, but at the same time, the jiva or the soul is considered to be under the category of the energy of Krishna. Simultaneously expansion as well as energy. Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. So now, when this is the Vaishnava Siddhanta, that the Supreme Lord, Eko Bahusyam, he has become many, he has expanded into the various Vishnu forms, into the various avatars, into the various living entities, all of that is expanded originally from Krishna. And that is the Vaishnava Siddhanta explanation of the Vedanta Sutra, which state that Sarvam Kalvidam Brahma. Everything is Brahman, everything is spiritual. Because everything is expanded from Krishna. Nothing is independent of Krishna. Now the Mayavadis, when they hear this Vaishnava Siddhanta, what do they say? They say, how is this possible? Because they give the example, you take a piece of paper. Now you take a piece of paper and let us say you make 4 pieces out of that. Fold it and tear it and make 4 pieces. And then you take all those 4 pieces, further divide into 4 pieces and tear into those smaller pieces. Now like this, you have made 16, 24, 32, whatever number of pieces you have made out of the original paper. Once you have divided that original piece of paper into so many smaller pieces, all these smaller pieces have come from the original paper, big paper. But now that all these small pieces have been made out of that original paper, where is the original paper? Original paper is no more there. It is destroyed. It is gone, finished. So similarly, when you say that the Supreme Absolute Truth, Krishna or Vishnu, has expanded into all the living entities, then where is that original Supreme Personality of Godhead? He is no more there. He is finished. Like the original paper which is finished when it is cut up into small pieces. Another example is, suppose you take a pot of curd and you take several bowls and you take that curd from the pot and put it all into all the small bowls. What will happen? The curd in the pot will get over. Curd in the pot is no more there. So similarly, the Supreme Lord, you are saying the Absolute Truth has expanded himself into all these living entities, then where is the question of Absolute Truth existing further? The reply to this is, Prabhupada says, that in reply to this, the pot of curd is a transcendental pot of curd. And Prabhupada gave the story of the boy giving this pot of curd from Krishna to the Gurukul, to the teacher. When the teacher got that pot of curd, he is taking out unlimited curd from the pot. But the pot of curd is never empty, it is always filled with curd. Similarly, although unlimited living entities have expanded from Krishna, Krishna still remains. Advaitam achyutam anadim anantarupam Adyam Purana Purusham Navayavvanam cha Vedeshu Durlabham Adurlabham Atma Bhaktau Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. This is exactly what the Brahma Samhita is stating. What is the Brahma Samhita saying? Advaitam, that Supreme Lord has no equal or no superior. There is only one truth, which is Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is no competitor for Krishna. That is why Krishna is called Asamaurdhva. The Upanishads also are stating, Na tat samaschabhyadikascha drishyate. There is nobody else equal to or above Krishna. So Krishna is the sole truth, Advaita. He is the only truth. There is no second truth apart from Krishna. If at all anything exists, it is existing because Krishna has created it. If there is something which is existing, which is independent of Krishna, then it is not a reality, it is an illusion. This is what Brahma also says in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, that Supreme Lord, Advaitam, Achyutam, who is never fallible, who will never come under the control of the three modes of material nature, although this material universe and this material manifestation and the three modes of material nature have emanated from Krishna, Krishna will never come under their control. Therefore, he is Achyuta. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim. And Krishna is Anadi. He is the Anadir Adir Govindaha. He is the source of everything. But Krishna himself has no source. He is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. Advaitam Achyutam Anadim Anantarupam. And that Krishna has expanded himself into unlimited forms. Unlimited forms, his personal forms like Ramachandra, Narayana, Balrama, etc., as well as his kalas like Vishnu and the various incarnations of Vishnu in this material world, as well as all the devotees of Krishna in the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavan, as well as all the living entities, the conditioned souls who are in the material universe. So, Anantarupam, unlimited forms Krishna has expanded. But although Krishna has expanded like this into unlimited forms, Purana Purushaha, he is the oldest personality. He is still a Purusha, he is still a person. Just because he has expanded himself into Ananta Rupa, unlimited forms, it is not that Krishna has lost his personality. He still remains the Purana Purusha, oldest person. Oh, Krishna is the oldest person. Maybe his face is all full of wrinkles. Or he must be having a long white beard. Hair must be all falling off. He must be half bald. And he must be walking with a walking stick, not able to stand. There must be people holding him up. No, Brahma Samhita says, although Purana Purusham, Nava Yavvanam cha, he is always fresh youth. He is always freshly youthful. This is Krishna. Although he has expanded into unlimited forms, he still remains original, the same original personality. Although he is the oldest personality, still he remains freshly youthful. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And so, Krishna being that Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has expanded into unlimited forms. Now, why did he expand into unlimited forms? What is the reason? If he is the original Supreme Absolute Truth, he could have remained as he is. What is the need for him to expand into unlimited forms? Because, as it is mentioned in today's verse, Kapila Deva is stating, Na karhichin matparaha shantarupe. Because Krishna wants all the living entities to be matpara. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita also, 9th chapter, 34th verse, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam eva aishyasi yuktva atmanam matparayanam. Krishna says matparayana. Krishna says Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Manmana, always think of Krishna. Bhava madbhakta, become a devotee of Krishna. Madhyaji, worship Krishna always. Mam Namaskuru, always offer your obeisances, surrender to Krishna. And Mam Eva Aishyasi Yuktva Evam, Yuktva Evam. Like this, if your whole life is engaged, then Mam Eva Aishyasi, you will go back to Krishna. Atmanam Matparayanam, and always become a Matparayana devotee like this. Become a Matpara devotee like this. This is what Krishna wants. And Krishna has created all of us to become Matpara devotees. To become Matpara. What is the meaning of Matpara? To become Matpara means, as it is mentioned by Kapila Deva in today's verse, Na karhichin Matparaha. Who are those Matpara devotees? Yesham aham priya atma sutascha sakha guruhu sukrudo daiva mishtam. For those devotees who have accepted Krishna either as their friend, sakha, as their relative, atma, their son, suta, preceptor, guru, benefactor, suradaha, supreme deity, daivam, ishtam, daivam, whoever has accepted Krishna in whatever relationship, in one of these relationships, primarily there are 5 relationships. What are those? Shantarasa, Dasarasa, Sakyarasa, Vatsalyarasa, and Madhuryarasa. So anyone who develops a relationship with Krishna in any one of these 5 forms, then that devotee is called a Matpara devotee. That is what Kapila Deva is stating. Na karhichin matparaha shantarupe yeshamaham priya atma sutascha sakha guruhu sukrudo daiva mishtam. The point is that devotee means he has to accept Krishna and choose a Brajavasi, a devotee in Goloka Vrindavan, who has a permanent relationship with Krishna, and follow in his footsteps and develop his natural inclination to serve Krishna in that particular rasa. Either Shantarasa, Dasarasa, Sakyarasa, Vatsalyarasa, or Madhuryarasa. So such a devotee who is following in the steps of the Brajavasis to develop his natural inclination to serve Krishna in a particular relationship, that devotee is called a Matpara devotee. And how does one become a Matpara devotee? Krishna has said in the Bhagavad Gita, Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajimam namaskuru. Simply by following these 4 things, we constantly think of Krishna. Constantly thinking of Krishna means we constantly think of the lotus feet of the deities. Or we chant harekrishna mantra constantly. Both of them are considered remembering Krishna. Bhava madbhakto, we become a devotee of Krishna means we have to follow the instructions of Prabhupada and serve Krishna in the way Prabhupada is directing us to serve. That is called becoming a devotee. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyajiri. And we have to worship Krishna. How do we worship Krishna? Prabhupada has established temples and deity worship standards, and this is how we have to worship Krishna. Mam Namaskuru, we have to offer obeisances to Krishna. Whenever we enter the temple, we have to offer obeisances to Prabhupada and to the deities. We are offering obeisances to Krishna. If we do this, what will happen? Our natural inclination to serve Krishna in a particular relationship will awaken, and we will get attracted by the service rendered to Krishna by a pure devotee in the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavan, one of the Brajavasis, who is related with Krishna in similar mood in that particular relationship, and then our natural inclination will develop further, and we will be able to become a pure devotee and go back to Krishna in the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavan to relate with Krishna in that specific relationship. And this is called Matparayana. This is how we become Matpara devotee of Krishna. And when we become a Matpara devotee of Krishna, what happens? Nang shyanti no me animisho ledi hetihi. No weapon, no time, no kala can destroy the benedictions given to that devotee by Krishna. What are the benedictions given to a devotee? Because the devotee is not expecting anything. He simply wants to serve Krishna in a particular relationship. As Kapila Deva stated in the previous verse, Ato vibhutim maya mama mayavinastam aishwaryam ashtangam anupravrittam shriyam bhagavatim va asprihayanti bhadram parasimete ashrunuvate tu loke. Ashnuvate tu loke. A devotee is not interested in any of the opulences. He doesn't want wealth. He doesn't want the Ashtanga Yoga Siddhis. He doesn't want that. He doesn't even want liberation. That is what Kapila Deva stated in the previous verse. But although they do not desire such opulences, neither liberation, still Krishna awards those benedictions to those devotees. So if a devotee is not wanting these benedictions, then what does he want? That is stated in today's verse, that they want to serve Krishna. Yesham Mahap Priya Atma Sutascha Sakha Guruhu Suhrudo Daiva Mishtam. They want to serve Krishna in one of these relationships. They want to become related to Krishna permanently in one of these relationships. These relationships are there in the material world also. That of friend, relative, son, guru, teacher, benefactor, friends, and supreme deity. These are there in the material world also. Somebody has Lord Shiva as a supreme deity, somebody has Ganesha as a supreme deity, somebody is worshipping Shani, somebody is worshipping Rahu, etc., etc. And then everybody has a teacher in his life. He is very grateful to that teacher. He taught me so many things, because of which I became a big man. Everybody has some teacher in his life whom he looks up to. Then there are relatives, their parents, their uncles, their brothers, sisters. They are related with them. They have their wife, children, husband, and their children, their son, daughter, etc. So these relationships are there in the material world also. But animisho ledi hetihi. These relationships can be destroyed with the stroke of a weapon or by the stroke of time. Because eventually all of us will die. And when we die, along with that, our relationship with all those people is also cut off. Or the person whom we are related with, that person dies, then that relationship is cut off. So weapons and time can destroy the relationships in the material world. But the Matpara devotee who develops a relationship with Krishna in any one of these relationships, taking Krishna as either a teacher or a friend or a relative or a son or father or a lover, in whatever way you relate with Krishna, that relationship, animisho ledi hetihi, neither weapons nor time can destroy that relationship. These relationships are eternal. And so therefore, to relate with Krishna in a particular manner is the goal of life, because that is the purpose of our creation. Krishna expanded into all of us to be able to relate with us in a particular relationship and exchange loving, blissful exchanges with us. This is the purpose of our existence. And this is what Kapila Dev is stating. So we should not get misled by Mayavadis who think that a relationship with Krishna is also like a material relationship, and if Krishna has expanded into unlimited forms, he will lose his existence. What is the reality? Krishna can expand unlimitedly into unlimited living entities, and he will continue to remain as he is, without any reduction, without any decrease in either his potencies or his energies or any of his capabilities. This is Krishna's transcendental position. This is his spiritual position, and therefore he is the absolute truth. And we have to understand that the purpose of our existence is to develop our relationship with Krishna, following in the footsteps of the Vrajavasis. And the spiritual master like Srila Prabhupada, who has descended from Vrajabhumi, if we accept Srila Prabhupada as our Diksha Guru, as our initiating spiritual master, then Prabhupada will reveal to us what is our original relationship with Krishna, either in Shanta Rasa, Dasa Rasa, Sakya Rasa, Vatsalya Rasa, or Madhurya Rasa. Prabhupada will reveal to us, and Prabhupada will engage us in the service of that particular Brajavasi who is there in the spiritual world and take us to perfection. So this is the advantage of taking shelter of a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada as our Diksha Guru. So therefore, we should accept Prabhupada as our Diksha Guru, follow his instructions, and simply by following whatever Prabhupada has said, we will, as he is mentioning here, Kapila Dev is mentioning here, we will develop an eternal relationship with Krishna, which cannot be destroyed by either any weapons or time or any other material factor. So we'll stop here. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nidai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.